In what has quickly become one of the most talked about viral moments of the week, British broadcaster Piers Morgan tore into Meghan Markle on live television, ridiculing her latest appearance on the Love Meg fashion show. "She can't even dress," Morgan exclaimed, shaking his head in disbelief during a fiery segment that aired live on TalkTV. The former Good Morning Britain host didn't stop at her outfit. He used the opportunity to question Markle's judgment, taste, and constant need for public validation. In a world where image is everything, especially for a woman who has repeatedly positioned herself as a modern, relatable royal, this wardrobe choice, paired with a smug attitude, seemed to confirm what critics have long said. Meghan is in over her head, and she's trying too hard. Morgan's reaction may have been sharp, but it wasn't entirely unprovoked. Markle's outfit, which was supposedly styled to reflect a modern elegance, featured an ill-fitting beige ensemble paired with mismatched accessories that fashion critics described as confused at best. Her appearance on Love Meg, a platform known for suburban home fashion and lifestyle tips, was widely seen as another PR stunt to reclaim the spotlight after months of silence following dwindling popularity. According to several UK tabloids and fashion analysts, her choice of clothing lacked any coherent message, echoing long-standing criticism that her public appearances often come off as overly curated, hollow attempts at relatability. Piers Morgan, who has built a reputation as one of Meghan's most persistent critics, didn't miss the opportunity to put her on blast. "She keeps preaching about authenticity, but everything about her screams staged," he said. From the overly rehearsed facial expressions to her trying to connect with the average viewer through a show like Love Meg, it's patronizing. This wasn't an attempt at fashion, it was another failed performance. The backlash wasn't limited to just one man's opinion. Online, viewers of the fashion show took to social media in droves to voice their confusion and frustration. "Why does she always dress like she's in a 2017 Pinterest board?" one Twitter user wrote. Others pointed out how disconnected Markle seemed from the tone and theme of the show, which typically focuses on affordable and approachable style. "She clearly misunderstood the assignment," said Love Meg fan Erica Johnson, 34. "This wasn't Paris Fashion Week. It was supposed to be casual, authentic. And instead, she turned it into a cringe parade." Meghan Markle's public image has been a roller coaster since her exit from the royal family in 2020, but her fashion choices have remained a contentious issue. Unlike Princess Diana, who used fashion to convey empathy and subtly address political causes, or even Kate Middleton, who is often applauded for her balance of glamour and accessibility, Meghan's style has often been criticized as detached, vain, or contrived. British fashion commentator Susanna Reid recently noted, "She dresses like she's trying to convince everyone she's royalty without the crown, when in reality she's just Hollywood royalty, which isn't quite the same." What made Morgan's outburst particularly striking was how it tapped into a broader frustration with what many perceive as Meghan's ongoing victim narrative. Every time she appears in public, she looks like she's playing a part in a movie where she's the misunderstood heroine, Morgan scoffed during his segment. "Except no one's buying it anymore. This isn't Suits. This is real life." The former actress has repeatedly stated that her fashion choices are deeply intentional, once saying that clothing helps her communicate without words. If that's true, then her recent appearance on Love Meg may have said more than she intended. Rather than communicating elegance and modern relevance, the look seemed to scream insecurity, vanity, and a continued disconnect from the very audiences she claims to champion. Perhaps most damning of all was Morgan's final comment, which has since been clipped and widely shared across social media. "If this is her idea of fashion, I'd hate to see her idea of leadership. This isn't style, it's delusion, draped in beige." Despite efforts by her PR team to spin the appearance as a success, the damage may already be done. Viewers weren't impressed, critics were brutal, and even fans are starting to ask whether Meghan's return to the limelight is more about ego than empathy. As Piers Morgan made abundantly clear, sometimes the clothes do speak for you, and in this case, they shouted, "Out of touch." In a world where branding is everything, Meghan Markle's wardrobe choices have become more than just fabric and stitches, they're a symbol of her public identity. And if this latest debacle proves anything, it's that style can't cover for substance, especially when critics like Piers Morgan are watching and waiting. As the dust settles from this latest fashion fiasco, one thing is becoming increasingly clear. Meghan Markle is struggling to define her place in a world that no longer gives her the benefit of the doubt. Her clothing, once seen as a tool of empowerment and independence, is now being scrutinized as a desperate mask for dwindling relevance. Critics aren't just commenting on her hemline or handbag. They're questioning the authenticity behind every carefully coordinated look. It's not about fashion anymore, it's about credibility. Piers Morgan's takedown resonated not simply because it was scathing, but because it echoed what many have silently thought. Beneath the designer labels and polished optics, there's a vacuum of sincerity. Meghan's repeated attempts to market herself as a progressive voice of the people fall flat when they're delivered in $5,000 outfits that contradict the humble image she tries to project. And while her loyal fanbase may still defend her fiercely, the tide of public opinion seems to be shifting. With every tone-deaf appearance and curated performance, she distances herself further from the very audience she once captivated. In the court of public perception, style without substance is no longer enough, especially when Piers Morgan is holding the gavel.